Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot, back with the monthly reading for Scorpio for April. How are you doing, Scorpio? I'm having to do these live because they are late. We're in the middle of Mercury retrograde and it has been kicking butt pretty hard. So I'm doing these live for this one so that at least you get them. Okay. Before I start the reading, I just want to say that if anybody would like a personal reading with me, the prices are going up towards the end of this week just a little bit, but I do have a blue moon offer on. The link is below if you want to take advantage of that. You can book in for after or whatever, but they need to be booked sort of pretty sharpish. Availability is limited with them, and if you do want a personal reading, just click on that. Okay, so I have to take care of business first of all. So, Scorpio, how are you all doing? Been some crazy energies. I've just had to take a little break, had to go and have some chocolate. So happy Easter, because I've done 3 readings so far and the energy is so intense with it. So I don't know whether you're feeling that as well. But hi, Jennifer. Happy Easter to you as well. So yeah, so what I'm going to go with what I was picking up psychically for you first, Scorpio, okay? And what I'm sort of feeling torn. There's like 2 different sides. It's almost like you're Gemini at the minute. There's 2 different sides. There's this yearning for peace, tranquility, and things like that. But then there's this really high energy around you as well. And I don't know if this is somebody around you or what, but there's a high energy around, and I'm feeling maybe a little bit too high. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling that, high energy is great, but this seems a little bit uncomfortable for you. It's almost like, you want to take yourself in, you want to put like earmuffs on or something just to soften the noise. Because like I say, it's this need for tranquility and this need for healing that is coming in as well. So I really feel there's a balance needed. So sorry. I feel as well that there's stuff that you're not saying, or the stuff that you need to get off your chest that you aren't talking about, or you're trying to, this intensity that I'm talking about. This could actually be emotions, that are inside of you that are really intense and trying to get your attention, but you're trying to block them off in some way because you don't want to feel them, you don't want to address them, or something like that. This can often happen when we have the moon's energy, and this blue moon has been very powerful. It's a great time for releasing, but in order to release, you need to revisit. And this is what I feel that you might not be wanting to do, if that makes sense. Okay, so like I say, I'm going to go on with your reading. That was the initial messages that I got. Don't know if any of you do yoga or meditation, but I really feel it would be very, very good to quiet your mind at the moment, Scorpio, okay? Because it's almost like going to nature as well. I really feel you need to go into nature in order to... Nature kind of heals our senses. It heals all of them, where I'm living at the moment. If I open that door, which I can't because it's glorious sunlight outside and it shines on the computer, but I'm actually right in the center of nature, and it's beautiful, every day just to go walking barefoot in that nature, and it just grounds you and gets you ready. Even listening to the birds and everything like that, it almost, there's something very calm and meditative just about that actual process. Okay, so right, I'm going to go into your cards now, Scorpio, and see what we have. Right, okay, there's a feeling of stuckness coming, okay? A feeling of you needing to either move on or go back. This is what I'm getting. And it's almost like, right, which one should I do? Which one can I do? Because it's almost like we can never go back, and we can never, like, sort of revisit. Things are never the same again, are they? When we go back and revisit. But it's almost like, yeah, I feel you are thinking about, I wish I could go back to how things were, but we have actually moved on, or you should move on. Yeah, but it's this link to the past, this tie to the past, and keep thinking about whether this is past people, past hurts, or whatever. This is what I feel is keeping you stuck at the moment. I feel like there's been a lot of work for you as well, but it's almost like here it's been like you've been using work as a distraction, using work so that you don't have to think about what's going on in your head here. And it's almost a new beginning for you. There could be new ideas around work, but it's like, they seem a little bit out of your grasp at the minute because it's almost like I don't want to say frightened to move on, but you're putting resistance up to any sort of change. This is what I'm feeling, Scorpio. Okay. I feel there's learning coming in for you. So I do feel there's something new around your work. Okay. Something new is going to be injected into it. You're going to be learning how to do something again. There's a celebration. This is going to be good. Your work is actually good and it's going to pay off for you. But I want to say there's somebody around your work. Okay. This could possibly be an air sign, and I don't like them. I don't like their energy. I don't trust them. This person could be smiling sweetly at you and stabbing you in the back. I feel like they are riding on the back of your success, or that is their goal. That is what they want to do. And it's almost like they're saying the right words, but behind your back, they're being a little bit shifty. I don't think this is connected with relationships at all. I feel this is more a working relationship. There's somebody you need to keep your eye on, okay? If this is somebody working for you, then make sure you know what they're doing, because there's this person. It's almost like I feel that this new thing that's coming into your work is going to be a success, okay? And it's like you're riding high, you're going up that ladder. And it's like this person is aware of it and they don't want to see that happen, okay? It's almost like there's a little bit resentment, or they're a little bit resentful that you are making a success. But the reason you're making a success is because of all the bloody hard work you've put in, So this is what it's saying. So I really feel keep any creative ideas to yourself, or only tell those that you can fully trust, okay? Because this is where you're going to get happiness, okay? This is where you are going to succeed. You're going to succeed by yourself in business rather than somebody else. So I don't know if any of you have been thinking about bringing in a partner or something like that, or collaborating with somebody, but I just feel that could pretty much end in tears for you, okay? And I feel this could be quickly. It's almost like you could find this out within within this month, I feel, but it could be within the first week as well, So it's there's something not quite right here around your work or your working life, okay? I feel you as well. There's, like I say, there's this sadness, there's this emptiness. You're keeping yourself trapped. It's almost like something has gone and you are grieving for it in some way, okay? Or thinking back to yesteryear, thinking things were so much simpler then, and you're not actually realizing what it is that you've got now, what it is that you've got, because I feel this could be somebody that you loved, okay, and still do. This is what I feel. I feel it's connected around emotions, connected around love here. And it's almost like I feel that it's kind of saying this person fulfilled their role. So they done what they were meant to do. And then, this is it's almost like they give you security, or there was a gift that was given to you, and it's almost like this was their job. So it's but you're the one that's keeping yourself from not moving on. I'm very sorry about that, Dawn. About your son's death. They never really leave us. They're always there physically, and your son would not want you to stay stuck. You can still send love to them wherever they are. So sorry about that. I know people don't like me stopping in the middle of readings, but I felt I had to speak to Dawn there. So so it's almost like you were given the gift of security by this person, and that is what you'd been waiting for a long time. And then now you've had that gift. So it's like, right, okay, we are all about change. Life is about change. If we look at seasons, nothing stays the same, and it's up to us. We need to go with these cycles, and we need to stop resisting them, because that is where, the pain persists if we resist, So like I say, this is a time to I really feel this month is the time to put the past to rest and start going forward. Okay. Yes, if you want to grieve, but don't stay sort of trapped in this grief, or trapped in this place of longing. Okay, because something only goes out of your life because to make way for something coming in. And I know that sounds really cliche, but that is exactly how it is, you're causing the blocks here within your life. I feel, Scorpio, there's a lot of emotions here. I feel your emotions are getting the better of you, but you're holding them into yourself. You're not actually releasing them. Now, when we release emotions, this could be even just talking about them, writing them down, journaling them, whatever. Don't analyze them too much, okay? That is just going to get you in more and more of a tangle. And it's almost like you need to release here. You need to see, why things have happened the way that they are. And you need to see the lesson that you have learned in them, because there's a big, big lesson I feel in this. And it's almost like, it's almost like you're wanting to stay in this because it's like going forward and moving on. It's kind of like, yeah, but if I move on, am I moving on from everything that's happened? And no, you're not. But what you're doing is you're moving on and you're following the path that you should be on. Like I say, nothing stays the same. And we can never forget people that have been in our lives or situations, every single one of them. It's almost like a shoe, every single one of them wears that sole down a little bit. So, they're never gone. They've still left an imprint on you. But sometimes, they're not physically there. And this is a case of, looking at what they have left you with rather than the fact that they have left, if that makes sense. So this is saying it's time to open your heart again. It's time to start to experience joy, even if it's on like quite a childlike level, it's like learning to do this again. But it's almost saying here there's anxiety and worry that you're worried about opening up, and what this is saying, I really feel, is that pain and loss are part of life, in the same way life and birth is. This is it. We will all experience losses and we will all experience pain. Pain is where we grow, okay? Pain is where we can find answers. Pain is where we discover how strong we are and how resilient we are. Okay, so this is what it's saying. And it's saying this is the time to bring the balance back in, because there is an imbalance here as well. And it's almost like you need to go with the changes, sort of roll with the punches, so to speak. And this is where you will actually start to feel more powerful. This is where more joy will come into your life. This is where you, has the sound gone? Can people hear me? Sorry. If anybody's there, can you tell me if you can hear me? Because somebody said the sound's gone there, and I have a mic there. Thank you. You can hear. All right. Okay. I'm so sorry about that. I have a mic on, so sorry about that. Okay, I hear you. Yes, we're hearing. Sound is fine. Great. Okay, thank you. Sorry, it was just, it came up there. Just, I'm doing it on the computer now, so I can see the messages, and it's better. So yeah, so this is where you are going to reclaim your power. Okay, there's a real positive sort of time coming in for you if you allow it. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. If you, whatever you're resisting this change. You could also be resisting happiness as well, because this is what is trying to come in for you. So this is it. It's transformation. It's a new life. There's new things starting. It's all about letting love in, going in nature, falling in love with the world again. This is what I feel here, Scorpio. It's like your eyes are seeing in a different way, and you're like not wanting to see it. It's like, no, I want to stay in the dark. But it's open them and see this wonderful life, that is there for you. It's almost like, yeah, this is, you are getting a rebirth, okay? Yes, you won't be who you used to be, but that is the beauty of it, okay? That is the beauty of it. You've done a full cycle. You are starting afresh. You're like brand new again, all squeaky clean and stuff like that, and this is where you can experience joy where you've been empty. This is where you can actually start to cut through the bullshit of things that you've hid behind, or these like sort of false senses of security, or like these shoulds, feeling how you should be living, feeling what you should be doing and stuff like that. This is about freedom, you know. We are all free, you know. We are all, a lot of us are living in cages, but the door is wide open. And this is what I'm saying to you, Scorpio. You know, this is where it is. Let them ideas come. Let your mind, your imagination, let it run wild with you rather than actually keeping it filled with something that has already happened, okay? So it's letting go of the past. Stop this fight, okay? Because this is where your confusion is lying. You know, this is saying you could be your own worst enemy here. You need to take time to just chill a little bit, okay? Chill and think rationally. Cleanse your, it's almost like I want to put bleach in your brain and cleanse these dark thoughts connected to the past, because I do feel there could be some jealousy, some resentment, some, you know, there's something there. There's some egoic what you call them, emotions coming up or feelings coming up, okay? So this is about, like, you know, having this purity, stripping them down and seeing what is real and what isn't, seeing, you know, where you've been projecting and where you haven't. And I know that there's been a bit of a knock to your confidence in some way. This is what it's saying, but it's almost like saying, you're going to let that hold you back, because what they're saying here is you need to open your heart. You know, this is when the struggle will end for you, okay? Because it's almost like you're struggling. It's, you know, it's not nice, this, you know, because when you're struggling, it's almost like the breath I'm feeling there, like I'm suffocating, you know, I'm desperate to breathe. So it's just breathe, go out in the air, stop the struggle, you know, and this will bring the balance back in here, okay? It's do not let your emotions control you. You are in control of them. You need healing in a certain area, and the only person that can do this healing is yourself, okay? And I've said before, I've just said it in the last reading, that pain is often answered prayers. So we need to delve deep into this pain and see what it is, you know, and we need to take our own medicine. This is what we need to do, you know. Find your security within yourself. This is when you will start to heal. This is when your heart will open, and this is when you can heal any of the wounds from the past. But what you need to do is let go of anything that is causing this pain, okay? I still feel there's a bit bitterness and resentment to somebody that may not be around at the moment. But it's almost like you cannot cling on to that, okay? Let it go. Let it go, Scorpio. This is what it's saying. Because you won't be able to see your future if you're still looking behind you, okay? So I hope that makes sense to you. It's, yeah, I mean, you know, yes, we all get disappointments within life, and things don't turn out in the way that we, you know, would like them to, but it's almost like, you know, man plans and God laughs. You know, there is a bigger plan, and some things are transient, you know, in life. And the second we understand that, it's a lot easier to let go. Okay. So I'm going to pull a spirit card for you, Scorpio. I hope that, sorry, that was a little bit of a, you know, I feel like a little bit of Debbie Downer there on that. You know, there's been a couple of them are really high energy, but you know, it's I've got to read how they come out. So, oh, right, okay, I think that one wanted to come out as well. So this is saying here, this is heart's desire, okay? And it's such a beautiful card here. And it says, you are being showered with love. Your time of waiting will soon be over, and all your heart's deepest desires will be fulfilled. And this is what I'm saying, you know, when you let go, you sort of let there be space for something new to come in, you know. And this is what we need, you know. We are constantly renewing as ourselves. And you know, if we stayed the same, you know, if everything stayed the same all the time, where would the growth be? You know, we would get bored, we would get, you know, we would get sick. It would be routine, it would be humdrum, you know, it would be mundane. It's like Groundhog Day, and that doesn't work, okay? So there's got to be change. So please just go with the changes, you know? Okay. So I hope that makes sense to some of you. Please let me know if it did. And please, could you like, subscribe and share to these videos. It does help me massively to carry on doing them as well. You know, I've got a lot of other work on in different areas at the moment, a lot of things I'm working on, but I do still like to be able to do these videos. So just a little bit of help is needed there as well. So like I said, if anybody would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch. The link is below for that offer. I would love to connect with you, and then I can look at your personal journey. You know, these are general, okay? They're not going to relate to all Scorpios, but you know, I ask for the energy for Scorpio, okay? So it's almost like let it go. That's what you need to do. So I'm sending lots and lots of love to you, Scorpio. Have an absolutely fabulous month. Okay. Satnam.